Welcome to the 2023 AFL semi-final review. After the Blues beat the D's 11 goals 7, 73 to 9 goals 17, 71 in the most incredible moment, the most incredible game, the most incredible experience of my life. Where does one begin? Seriously, where do you begin with that? This club, man, I've tried to think about, it's such an important moment for so many of us, and whether it's the generation that haven't seen success or a generation before who want to see it again. But it's not about one group. It's not about just the supporters. It's just not about just the players and their families and the club and the staff and the board and the coaching, and it's just the whole lot. I've never seen a unification of human beings like what we're witnessing right now. We use a phrase a lot here on this channel. Been using it for a long time. It's, blink and you'll miss it. And so the Koning's in the air. Everywhere I look around. It's the journey, isn't it? It's the journey of committing yourself to something, being a part of something, and seeing it start to come to fruition. And I mean, for this group, this is the first time. We've had belief in what they're capable of for a long time, and that in part is where a lot of the frustration came from, because we knew what they were capable of. But to be alive when it happens, and when it clicks, and when it starts to click, and to be fully present, and to be able to embrace those moments with your family and your friends and your football club. This review, this game will be, mate, the Koning's in the air. Everywhere I look around. It's so special. I was so calm all week. I had a calmness. I had a confidence. I don't think I will feel that way too often in the future. There was just a peace about me all week. I've got nothing against the D's. There's no bad blood. So there's nothing there to spike the emotions. I have a lot of respect for them. I actually love the D's. That's the truth. I love the Melbourne Football Club. There's very few clubs that have experienced that drought of success, that disappointment. And Melbourne's one of them. Obviously, they won the flag a few years ago. So it's not fair to say they don't know what pain is like, because they do, even though I probably was saying that during the week. Like, they don't know the pain that we've gone through, but they do. So I have a lot of respect for them because they get it. But this is all about Carlton, and this is all about us, and this is all about being here and being present when the Blue Baggers start doing it. And I think a lot of our discussion over the course of the last, pretty much this build, has been around our mental fortitude, and it just hadn't been strong enough. Like the real deep commitment to the cause and the win at all costs. How far into the red zone are you willing to go? And they have now got this, I don't know if invincibility is the right word. I did use that word on the fan cams, but there's just this inevitability of you have to kill us before we lose this game. And that's what it felt like last night. That's the loudest roar. That final siren is the loudest roar I have officially ever heard. We've referenced Chris Judd's goal in the 2013 elimination final for many years because that's all we've really had to remember. And that was eclipsed. And I think the scary part about last night, scary in a good way, was speaking to, like Rocco and those who were alive and truly alive and have the memory of 99, the prelim. And when these memories are being recollected back to me, and when people are saying that, that semi-final against the D's was better than the 99 or, just as good as the 99 prelim, that's when something really special with a really heightened level of gravity has happened. And, before you know it, you're past the moment, and now we're reviewing, we're looking back already. It's done. And that is just the treasure that is life. There's the journey to where you want to go and what you want to achieve and what you want to experience. And then it happens. And then you have this realization, or I do anyway, that it's not that, okay, it's happened and I'm happy for the rest of my life. And if we just get this team playing finals football and winning semis and prelims and all of that, it'll be happy. It is what we've had to endure along the way that makes it feel this way and that makes the reaction what it was. And that's where I'm obsessed with this. I'm obsessed with sport, Carlton, because I just find you find so many parallels between sport and life. Even though sport and the AFL, it's fantasy. It's a game. It's made up. They're rules that are made up. It's not real. We get so caught up in it, but it's not real. Yet this fantasy brings such a spirit amongst human beings that just I don't see in any other realm. Like maybe religion. I've been to Jerusalem and I've seen people affected by where they are and the holiness of the site, and I've seen that. I don't relate to that side of things, but I do relate. Like Carlton, I guess is my version of religion. It's a fucking spirit. I felt all week that there was a restlessness with the D's. I felt that they were so rattled by what happened last week with Brayshaw and Maynard that it took them until Wednesday to start thinking about Carlton, clearly because of the tribunal and the matter. But one thing I noticed, they had the Maynard tribunal issue. We had the Jack Martin issue. And one thing I'm really proud about our supporter base and our club is the way in which we conducted ourselves about it. Jack Martin is a crucial part to what we do. Harry Mackay sorely missed last night. But it was just, it didn't matter. It did not matter. It's like we're up for it. We're up for the fight. But on a really deep level, like those guys are willing to die out there. I'm going to talk about, these injured players, these Sam Doherty, like shoulder out. Holland's warming up. I'm thinking, all right, well, there's Doc's year done. And then for him to come on and have a crucial part to play in the winning play, that's the spirit. It's beyond a physical pain threshold. It's a mental fortitude of I want this more than anything, and I'm really grateful for these players. Akers, Doc, these injured players that are playing with clear hindrances, and there's probably more that we just maybe don't know the full context about. But those are the ones that spring to mind, and they're here, man. They're brave. They're courageous. This is a brutal sport. It wasn't until the start of the game where the feeling started getting into it. I actually thought the D's, to be expected, started exactly how I felt they would. They've been there, they've done it, they know what it's about. So that's the advantage that other teams who have been here for 4 or 5 years have on us. They know what it's about. So they lifted the intensity, and we had to endure, and we did. The D's kicked the first 3 of the game. Then we chip away, kick a couple, get ourselves going, hit the lead in the second quarter, and then it was just a game of so many moments. I promise you, I felt like we were going to win the game from the very beginning of the week. I was picturing a 1-point win. It almost was a 1-point win. It just had that feeling about it internally for me. I felt like De Koning was going to step up and kick a couple. I felt like Motlop was going to be elevated from the sub last week and do his thing. I felt it. I trusted. And even up until the very end, when Gawn's hitting the post and Cozzy's hitting the post, I still believed. Even though I saw moments throughout the game, I've spoken about it earlier in the year, critical moments where critical players get tackled, and I think Cripps was pinned holding the ball, running through the middle of the ground, and I thought, that's one of those moments where it's not going to go again for us. The whole Charlie Curnow, Stephen May battle didn't go our way. Like, these critical players who we rely on, who have helped us really get here with their incredible individual performances, and a lot didn't go our way. We're not clean. And that's the other beauty of this, is we're still figuring out how to play under this type of heat, finals heat. And I feel like our defense is what is just holding us together, but not just the back 6 or the back 7. It's the whole ground. That's what's holding us in good stead. And once we figure out the offensive side in finals and how to be comfortable in finals, and we get that going, there's a juggernaut coming, and I feel it. I see it. I'm watching it. It's so clear to me right now what they're about to do. Whether it's this year, whether it's in years to come, there is a clear picture to me of what this group is and what they're going to be able to achieve. Obviously, you need a bit of luck in this game. You need injuries to go your way. You've got to be healthy at the right time. Your form's got to be good at the right time. It's such a complex game. There's so many variables that change almost daily. You're only one training session mishap away from having to change your team, and a selection issue or a sickness or anything. And so I'm not taking it for granted whatsoever. I'm just so grateful that we all hung in there, and this whole journey has taken us through the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the beautiful side of human nature within our supporter base. We've seen the whole lot, all angles. Some things I wish didn't happen, but without those things that didn't happen, you can't draw on what has happened and enjoy this without. You have to take the good with the bad. You don't know what good is unless you see bad. I was with my family, my mum, my dad, my brother. And I spoke about an out-of-body experience last week. When that siren went, so embarrassing. The footage is so embarrassing. Face red. I just kept jumping up and down. Just pure ecstasy. I've never cried at a game. Not at a game. In lockdown, had a bit of a tear after one of the games because I thought we had finally figured it out. That's how much it meant to me. But after the song played a couple of times, I just stood there for a minute and just hugged my dad, and then I just I shed a few. I care so much, and it's irrational. You could argue it's irrational, but this is what lights me up. You have to find what you love more than anything in life. I think that's a big part. We live our lives. A lot of people just exist rather than go after what they love and turn it into their life. And so I have the privilege of being able to do this now for a living. This is what I do. So I really have immersed my whole body and mind into this. So it just meant so much. I'm not even playing. Like I'm just supporting. I play a different role in the grand scheme of things. And I had such an emotional moment. And yeah, I keep thinking about who's going to watch this, which people will be watching this from my family in, hundreds of years from now when I'm not here. That's always been a big ethos to this whole thing. And also for all of us supporters that we document all of this stuff, the fan cams, all of the shows, it is for a reason. There's a method to the madness. It is about us right now. It's about our experience from the lowest of lows to the highest of highs and achieving the common goal. It's also about the journey, and it is all about the process along the way and the memories that last for a lifetime. And then we're not here anymore. We'll pass away. All these physical things that we can touch, that they won't matter, but the memories will. Nothing you ever really have is yours, apart from your memories. That's it. Your moments, they stay with you forever. So that was one of them. I think I said this, but just to hear Rocco and to hear people from the generation who have witnessed premierships tell me that was as good, if not better than 99, the prelim. Remarkable. So what am I going to analyze about that game? It's so interesting. What I've noticed about the way I watch the finals is what are you going to analyze? We can be better here, and our ball use has to improve, and all of that. But it's almost, I watch it differently. I'm just there to absorb, and I think because it's new, I'm so wide-eyed about it. I'm so naive in many respects to it because I've never seen anything past this point. 95, 99, I'm a kid, I'm a little pup. I don't remember. I don't have the memory. But now I do. And, I've been dreaming for this time for a long time. We all have. For the team to be good, for the club to be good, but for the unification of the supporter base, for the generations of yesteryear, together with the current generation, for us all to be a part of something that we can all recollect, not just one big portion of the supporter base telling the other portion of the supporter base how it used to be or how it was or what Carlton is. This is now what Carlton is, and we all are on the same page with it, and it's so special. There's so many heroic players, heroic acts. I mean, you talk about Sam Walsh. I thought he was our player of the game. But you can't say Sam Walsh without Nick Newman. You can't say Nick Newman without Wiedering. And then you say Akers and Doc and Cripps and all sorts of things. And so nothing but gratitude, very much like last week. And the Carlton Football Club are going to play in a prelim next week. We're going to Brisbane. We're playing in a prelim. We're a game away from a grand final, potentially. We're a game away from the ultimate. I also subscribe to the theory of the pendulum. Life is a pendulum. You can call it a roller coaster, or you can call it a pendulum, and it swings, right? So, last year, Melbourne break our hearts towards the back end of 2022. They truly do. And the banter's great. Melbourne supporters saying, whatever. Having a bit of a whine about last week, about thug acts, and, all of a sudden, Cozzy Pickett decides to, I don't know what he's trying to do, but anyway. But to see us not buy into it, not get sucked into it, and only focus on the task at hand, shows true strength. And that is true strength, not biting back, which I'm working on that art. I'm not perfect at that art. I need to be better at that art. But sometimes you just got to let a motherfucker know. When they talk too much, you just got to let them know. Some people need to be put back in their place, I think. But yeah, so there's that. And then there's two more. There's two more pendulums that need to swing the other way. It's called karma. I think Brisbane is one of them, but Brisbane at the Gabba, that's one of them. So we'll deal with that next week. Then it's Collingwood. You know, I don't want to look too far ahead, but, you know, for the first time when's the last time it was this possible to see a potential Collingwood Carlton grand final, you know? So there's potential on the horizon, but also we'll worry about that all when it comes. I don't care who we play. I don't care where we play. I don't care what it is. I don't care any of the situations. More challenges are coming. We said this at the start of the final series. There will be injuries. This will happen. You know, I was devastated for Doc because he's such a spirit for us, and obviously what he's been through and what he means to me as a supporter and us as supporters and our football club. But these are the harsh prices that you pay along the way to the ultimate glory. So I'm so happy and I'm so proud and I'm so privileged and I'm so grateful to be in this position, to be along for this ride. And yeah, that's that. The things that were sacrificed to get here on a personal level and what I gave up to make sure we had the best documentation of the fans' journey, no one will ever actually know. That's the truth. No one will actually ever know. Pommy, you're on the review, brother.
Hey, we did it, baby. We did it.
Hey, the coning's in the air. Everywhere I look around. Man, I just got really deep and spiritual and you called. I'm like, yep, light it up, Pommy.
Sorry.
No, it's so fine. It's so fine. I was getting a little bit too emotional, mate. What have you got for the review while the people can hear you?
I've just watched the review, and all I can say is I've never seen 23 people so maligned, so fucking mature and up for the task, man. Like, how proud. Like, I have got dad proud.
Yeah.
Watching them. Like, every single one of them, if they were in front of me now, I would give them the biggest hug, man. Especially you. Yeah. You my shining light through some dark. We get to fucking hold hands in the happiness.
I was just touching on that. You know, the things that were sacrificed along the way, the things that were endured, the uncertainty of when it was gonna. You know, remember we used to say, like, when is it gonna end? When is it gonna end? You know.
And now we've got fucking Pommy Mouse like Robbie Williams singing songs about us.
How good is it? The city is ours.
The city is ours. Tell you what, we need to get Robbie Williams on the watch along.
We do. What's
he doing next Saturday?
True. I like it. Hey, let me call you back in 5 minutes.
Enjoy, mate.
All right, see you, mate. Anyway, I've rambled. Grateful. That's what it is. We're going to a prelim, and we've got one more game, and then it's in eyesight. I can smell it. We're right there. So we as supporters just keep on keeping on, stay together. Enough of this division, no more of it. Just get together. I think we all saw the power of what a loud supporter base can do during a game. And so we've got to bring that next week. I know for a fact we have an amazing supporter base in Queensland, so that'll be fine. And we'll go from there. Really important that you document something in the comments about this for historical documentation purposes. It's not about now, it's about the future, and it's about when we're not around. So I look forward to reading through all of them. Share whatever, share everything. And guys, I'll see you. I'll see you. As always, Go the Mighty Blues.